All right. Yeah, I had gotten a phone call and it messed up my connection. All right, but let's see, we're back on. All right, cool. But that was us discontinuing from our heritage, not remembering ourselves, was prophecy that was supposed to happen. All right, in order for the day of the Lord to come, because prophecy must be fulfilled. Let me see. All right, I'm gonna leave this one on Doug. And wait, where was I at? I was in Psalms. All right, so it says, and this was a part of us discontinuing from our heritage. All right, nations were coming up against us. All right. As a matter of fact, in Lamentations, I believe Lamentations, when they seen the children of Israel at a low estate, the nations were looking at the children of Israel like the Lord jacked them up. Then they were clapping like, "Oh, is this the perfection of beauty? Is this, they was happy at seeing God's people down." All right, you can read that in I believe it's Lamentations, the second chapter. All right. But let's see what they say. Verse this is Psalms 83 and 4. They have said, oh no, we read that. Verse 5. They have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. All right, so they came together on the same accord, same mind, one consent. So now it lets you know who came up with this crafty counsel. All right, verse 6, the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes. You could read the rest on yourself, but pretty much the other nations, all right, that are not Israelites, God's chosen people. All right, they're the ones who conspired to take the name of Israel from being remembered. All right, just wipe them off the face of the earth. Oh yeah, in that Peters, I read that they were to the strangers scattered. All right, those are your today. You will be who? The Israelite foreigners, Gentiles, us living among these other nations as Gentiles, keeping their customs. Happy Halloween, Merry Christmas, Thanksgiving, keeping those customs. No, we don't keep those customs. Those are not our customs, you know. But by doing those customs, then you become a stranger. You become a Gentile. And us waking up out of that Gentile state mind, we're waking back up to who we really are according to the scriptures. All right, this is Obadiah. Let's see. Well, verse. Oh, here it goes. It's verse 12. It says, "But thou shouldest have not looked on the day of thy brother, in the day that he became a stranger." Okay, so now this is talking about when the Babylonians came, all right, and jacked up Israel. You had who you'll know as the Edomites, okay, which they go back to the Greeks, Rome, Alexander, Philip of Macedon. All right, they are technically Jacob's brother. All right, but it says that that he became a stranger when we were getting our temple ransacked by the Babylonians, getting jacked up. We became strangers. All right. Even back then, when we're not in our land, we are strangers. We are foreigners. And we have been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Let me see. Let me bring out this Thessalonians to back up that Jeremiah. All right, we were going to discontinue from our heritage. This is 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." All right. So the day of the Lord is not going to come unless what? The falling away. It says, except there come a falling away first, which that has happened. Back then they knew they were Israelites. Paul knew he was an Israelite. This isn't until after the fact, all right, when that nation of people would eventually forget who they were, that falling away. And you could read about us receiving the Spirit. You got Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, the valley of the dry bones. All right. And the Spirit entered into them. Us having this knowledge, the truth, waking back up, coming back to life. You got Revelations, the 11th chapter, the dead bodies laying in the streets of the great city. Us being spiritually dead here in this place, America. Okay. Not knowing who we were. The scriptures say, he that wandereth out of way of understanding remaineth in the congregation of the dead. So if you don't have this truth, then you're spiritually dead. All right. Not meaning you're just physically. No, spiritually you are. You're still alive, but through the Spirit, you're not. All right. And that had to happen. We fell away. And guess what? We remember ourselves. This, as it says, there's one in Baruch. All right. It says, in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves. In the book of Jude, it says, I will bring you back to remembrance, though you once knew this. So this is us getting this remembrance back. Now we're remembering, oh, no, wait. According to the Bible, we're these people. This is us. All right. And we've been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. We're going to look like everybody. We're going to speak different languages. Let me get, okay, I got to read that. Let me see. We read that. Jeremiah. All right, I'm going to grab, this is Amos 9:9. It reads, for lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sift in a sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. So this is letting us know the Lord's going to gather Israel from among all nations. This isn't about, that's why I put this picture up. This isn't about no black only Israelites. No. If somebody's claiming all black only Israelite, they have a lack of understanding. They do not have a spiritual eye. All right. They do not have a spiritual eye. That's why when I always start off my intros, I say to the Israelite foreigners scattered throughout all the nations who may look like the heathen nations, because again, we were scattered. In time, generations, your children are not going to look, all right, as the Israelite man laying down with another nation's the women. Those children coming forth will be Israelite children, and in time, you're not going to look the same. As a matter of fact, in the time of Nehemiah, they just forgot how to speak the language. All right. It's in Nehemiah 13. The children were already speaking half the language of the other nation, and Nehemiah got mad at that. All right. But now we lost our language and we lost our look. That's why it says in Jeremiah, let me pull that up. Jeremiah says, let me see. Oops. This is Jeremiah 12 and verse 9. It says, mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. All right. So the nation of Israel, we're going to look like speckled bird. You look up speckled bird, it gives you a random bunch of birds with different colors, different spots, different designs, different looks. That's how the nation of Israel are going to look. That's why in Revelation, all right, when he saw that great multitude out of every nation under heaven, guess who that multitude was? All right. Those were Israelites that were dwelling among those nations, and they looked like those nations. All right. I believe they said who are they? You know, and he was like, I don't know, you know, you know. Let me see. I think it's like Revelation. Here we go. This is Revelation 7 and 9. All right. And somebody who's unlearned, you know, they will say that, see, this means all nations. You don't have to be an Israelite. As long as you believe, you know, you could. That's not having an understanding of the scriptures. Because if that was the case, then the rest of the Bible is a lie. But you're going to have our people among these nations who are going to look like them. But they're not. That's why this is a spiritual thing. This is, let me see, Revelation 7 and 9. And after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and psalms in their hands. All right, let me read the next verse. I don't think this is the one. I think I gotta read up in it. Well, yeah, that's basically the point. Those were those Israelites that got redeemed, the 1/3. All right, because when you read up, you got the elect. When you read up, you got the 144,000. All right, which come from the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. All right, as it says, verse 5, it says, out of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000. And you could read on down. All right, so, right, the Lord is going to, as it said in Amos, he's going to sift the nation of Israel from among all nations. But I want to find the one where he said, who are they? That's what I was going to look up. It's a little bit more down. Bear with me. Now this thing wants to act goofy. All right, hold on. Let me close this out. Now the phone want to act goofy. I left my scriptures in the car. If not, I'll use my scriptures. But I'm dealing on my my old iPhone. Let me see. All right, here we go. So this is Revelation 7 and 13. And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, what are these which are arrayed in white robes? And whence came they? And he said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said unto me, these are they which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. Right. So he was basically telling them, who are these? He didn't know. All right. Because, hey, for the most part, you know, the nations dwelt among themselves, you know. So for him to see all these people, like he's like, I don't know who these people are. All right. But they were Israelites. Which are going to do what? First of all, they came out of what? Great tribulation. All right. As the scriptures say, Matthew's the 24th chapter, he that endureth into the end, the same that shall be saved. You know, you got also have scriptures where it says, through much tribulation shall you enter into the kingdom of heaven, etc. So you're going to go through troubles in this truth. All right. It's not only that, it says have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. So ultimately you come to the Son of God, Yahweh Shai. All right. Which that's his true Hebrew name. Let me see. I'm probably gonna have to hit this one up some other time. This Matthew 13 is something I want to get into. But all these scriptures already coming up. Here we go. This is Jeremiah 16. This backs up that Amos 9. You know, this is Jeremiah 16 and start at 14. It says, "Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh the Lord, that it shall no more be said, Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel." Who's he bringing up? The children of Israel from the land of the north. Where's that at? That's here in America. All right. Again, we've been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. What they call this place, North America. So he was going to what? And as a matter of fact, I believe it's Hosea, the first chapter. It says there they should be called the sons of God, where they were not called the sons of God. You know, that's us coming back to who we are. It says, verse 15, it says, "But Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he hath driven them." Remember, he was going to scatter us, and he has done that. Prophecy fulfilled. All right. Now this is something that's going to be fulfilled. All right. We're waiting on this. We're waiting for the Lord to come and gather us up. All right. It says, "And I will bring them again into their land that I have gave unto their fathers." All possessive pronouns. So this is specifically for the children of Israel. All right. And again, they were scattered. He's going to gather them from the scattering where he has driven them. No matter what they look like, we're going to look like everybody. But guess what? He's going to come and gather them. And God willing, you know, for the ones who are sincere, we are those people. All right. I'm trying to receive deliverance. I don't want what's going to happen on Judgment Day. You know, I want my garment washed white in the blood of Yahweh Shai, because, you know, let me see. Yeah, and I'm pretty much going to leave it at that. You know, we were scattered, but we will be gathered. All right. Lord's going to come back and gather his people. To the Israelite foreigners scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, he's going to come back and deliver those people. All right. So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. Till next time, Shalom.